is. Oh, hello! Hey, Alex, we are making TikTok happy by going live. If I want to keep book club going, we're doing a read with me. Hello. Welcome. We are keeping TikTok happy by doing a live, so that way we can keep doing our book clubs on Wednesday. Tamora Pierce. Although this Wednesday we're going to talk about identity formation, next Wednesday we are going to talk about battle magic. And so please excuse the loud everything. I just got a notification this morning that I needed to start going live more if I wanted to keep that feature. So we're just going to do a little read with me today. I'm so happy people are here. We're just going to do a little read with me. I have so much in the background. And none of my usual setup at the moment. And so I appreciate people just popping in and saying hello. We're going to do some battle magic, not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. And then this week we're going to talk about identity formation. But I really just popped on a live. They're doing stipulations. You're an educator on break. Oh, I'm so happy that you popped in for a minute. Yeah, TikTok just sent me a notification that said if I wanted to keep doing lives, I need to start doing them every 5 days. And so I was already planning on doing more lives, but as a lot of you know, I'm very much in transition in my life right now. And so it has been difficult for me to keep filming with all of my same things. Clearly, I don't even have my microphone. This is the only Tamora Pierce book that I have with me this week. And so I'm just trying to keep the algorithm happy. I'm thrilled that people are showing up. If you have any questions, let me know. I haven't started battle magic yet. I was just on the Discord with different ideas about how to keep going live. And so the reading one seemed like a really easy one for the time being. But I do plan on putting up a calendar. I had grand plans, but as we all know, life tends to get in the way. Best laid plans of me. Swords and spells. And so I have some battle magic today. I'm putting together a list of all of the different topics that we want to talk about on those every other weeks. And so if you haven't been caught up on book club, we are no longer doing our former format. We were doing one half being a book that we were rereading together as a group. The other half was, lovely. The other half was all things Tamora Pierce. And so we realized that we just needed more time to talk about all of the books, and we wanted more time to talk about Tamora Pierce as a whole. So now we're going to alternate weeks. We're keeping book club on Wednesday, keeping it at the same time, but every other week will be when we talk about a book. That way it gives us time to read some of these heftier books. I know, discard. We love a library discard. And so we're going to do battle magic, not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. So this Wednesday, we're going to talk about identity formation, and I'm really, really excited about this one. I thought this would be a really good intro topic for us to talk about that. Even though we haven't finished the rest of Circle of Magic, I think there's still plenty of room to talk about identity formation, whether that is the character's identity formation. I think we've really been seeing that a lot with Circle of Magic, how these characters build and grow and change. Most of these are coming of age stories. And so how does Tamora Pierce have these individuals and their stories and their lives, and how do they grow? And then also I really, really want to talk about how these stories created and formed our identities. How did reading these stories really shape who we are as humans? And so that's also the big identity formation that I would love to talk about on Wednesday. And so on Wednesday for book club, please come prepared with questions, ideas, anything around just like the general idea of identity formation and how do we become who we are? What is it like if one of the problems I am definitely going to bring up and so you have time to think about it. If you were on this live, then you get a little sneak peek. And so if you join tomorrow, one of the questions I want to ask is if an author, or if Tamora Pierce, for instance, was writing about you, what would she write about? What would she say? How would she describe you? part of their journey would she deem most important. For example, I think one really interesting thing about me that an author would put in or describe are that on both of my palms, I've had surgery, and so I have little scars. They're very hard to see, but they look like stars on each of my palms. And so that's something that I would put in. If I were an author describing who I am and building who I am as a character, it's just those little details. And so that's something I'm going to ask tomorrow that I can't wait to hear what everybody has to say. I can't wait to talk about all of the different ways that Tamora Pierce has created such unique and creative characters, and how these characters have really kind of informed our own identity. A separate topic that I want to talk about on another day is the lessons learned from Tamora Pierce, but for this live on Wednesday, I really want to talk about identity. And so I hope to see you all there. There are tons of people joining. Hello. Love seeing you all here. This is my, I have no plans for this live. This was TikTok just telling me that, you have to go live or else you can't have your book club anymore. And so I was just going to do a little read for Battle Magic. But yes, we'll have to think on that. Maybe go to the short story about the girls' home to get an idea. That's a really good idea. Ooh, that's a really good idea. I wish I would have done that earlier. I think even some of these off weeks, we could weave in a short story here and there. I think that book is so good. Fantastic. Yeah, I was just going to do a quick little read through a little chapter or so. Identity is a great topic, especially in Tamora Pierce's world. Each character is so well developed. Yes, absolutely. I completely agree with you. That was one of the reasons why I was so inspired about the identity formation in it, is because I think it's not just each of the characters, but something that was really informative to me was all of the different forms of femininity and identity, and how there's not just one way to be human. And so I'm really, really excited about it. She has a lovely Facebook fan group. She does. I've been in it for 10 years at least. If you haven't joined the Facebook, I think it's called the unofficial Tamora Pierce fan club, and she's in it. And so she'll post updates on there on occasion. Also, the other person who's in it that's been really active in it is the woman who did the covers that we all love for Alana and Dane. Those gorgeous ones that I always show off, but I don't have in front of me. The artist, Jody, I think is her name, she's in that Facebook group too. And so I know she was even just auctioning off some of the original artwork for Song of the Lioness. And so if you are not on Facebook, or you're not in her Facebook group, do it. Also, we have a Discord for the book club. And so if you want to join, there's a link in my bio. Come join the book club. Also follow along. Make sure you're following. I think it would be really cool if we got to 2,000 this week. 2,000 people following this week. We're very close. Very close. And that would be so fun. Let me see. We have some great comments. I was not expecting anybody to show up to this, so it's so great that you all are here. Yes, lovely Facebook fan. Oh, thank you for the gifts. You love the girl architect story. Yes. I want more of her story too. I also want more of the story. I think it's called The Ostrich, where it's the young girl who becomes the Shang warrior. And so I would love for that. Yeah. Let's see. Join the holiday exchange. Yes, I do want to join the holiday exchange. I'll look into that. I don't really have a solid address at the moment. And so it's hard for me to receive and send packages. Yes, it is. It's great being a Tamora fan. We know our queen is inclusive to all. She is. And even when she didn't have the language to really describe it, and even there are a lot of, not necessarily terms, but lines of thought that I thought that we have now that she was just really ahead on. And she's changed over time. There are things that she said she wouldn't write that way again. She's really learned. We love an inclusive queen. Student of Ostriches, yes, the part of the Tortall and Other Lands, absolutely. That's the story I'm thinking of. I would love to have more from her. I thought her story was really great. I really loved the way that all of the animals were really incorporated, and it felt so natural just building up to that ending. You have a few months, but it's so fun, and you can connect with other fans. I am excited for it. I will really think about doing it this year. I will hopefully be in a place where I can send and receive things in a couple of months. These are going to be so great. I would love to do something as a book club too, but we'll see. I'm working on a schedule right now for the lives, all the book club lives, and so it looks like we're going to start the Tortall series with Becca's books first. We're going to do Tortall in order, and those will start in October, and so I think that'll be a really good month. And so we have, I don't know if I'm ready to leave Circle of Magic though. You were always interested in the stories in Tortall and Other Lands because that take place in modern day. Yes! I had to shift my thinking when it came to the ones in modern day, just because I wasn't expecting them, and I get so immersed in the world that it's hard for me to shift. Because things like, I DNF'd and then I went back, so it's not a technical DNF, but I did DNF Lights Out the first time I tried to read it. I got 4 pages in, and as soon as they were like, we're in a hospital and the healthcare system is collapsing, I'm out. I need fantasy. Give me swords, give me magic. And so some of the modern day ones, I'm like, I understand, but I also want to joust, maybe a griffin. I love these. Yeah, you feel that. Yeah. I'm curious what people's favorite books are. You want to escape. I do too. Is there a particular series that does the best at the escape? Because I really think that Dane's series is just, I love Alana. Alana is absolutely my favorite all the way through, but I think that Dane's series in particular does a really good job of just like sucking you out into literally a different realm. And so there are so many good ones that are just all about the escape. Great. Sorry, y'all. Getting text messages. Yeah, this is great. Yeah. You haven't read a lot of her other books yet. Please join us on our rereads. We're finishing out Circle of Magic. We have a couple more for Circle of Magic, and then we're going to be moving on to Tortall, so I hope you'll join. But when the runner girl calls on the goddess in the middle of Central Park while being hunted, yes. Every time I'm in New York and Central Park, I think about that. Every time. It's hard to pick one. You also feel like with your book club, it's actually discussing them. With the others, well, I'm excited. It is hard to pick one. I also feel like with your book club and actually discussing them, I think that one's, I know, I hate that TikTok doesn't let you actually comment. I wish we were able to do more of a back and forth. I would love to find a way to like dual live, whether it's on YouTube or Discord or something where there could be a deeper interaction, because I know TikTok limits these comments and it's annoying. They will actually force you to look at the books critically. I hope so. That is one thing I would love to, hi y'all. That is one thing I would love to do more of, is like more of that critical look. I feel like we've been doing a lot of surface level digs into it, but part of my background is I used to teach a feminist studies course, and like a queer identity and representation in film and media course, and I would love to put some of those skills, the analysis, and really having like a good discussion. That's really where I thrive. And so I hope we can dig into them more critically. I don't think I've been as able to with some of these Circle of Magic books, just because, one, I don't know them as well, and it's a totally new reread for me. And so the things that I'm picking out don't have the years of reread and self-identity creation on top of that. And so I do think that the Tortall books we'll be able to dig a little bit more critically into. And I think time is the other thing. We haven't had the time in our lives to do it. And so my other hope is that with this new format, we'll have more time to really dig into these more critical questions. Because there's so many deep and important questions that we have that Tamora Pierce directly addresses. And so I would love to have more time to look at them critically. Thank you all for the gifts. You look good. Absolutely, I do. Thank you. I have a flash goal. I don't know what that means, but thank you. You have a master's degree, damn it. Yeah, you need your words. I totally understand. I had to defer my master's program, and so hopefully this time next year I will be working on a master's in this like intersection of communications and media, sociology, and gender. And I think Tamora Pierce's books fall just perfectly in there. And so I can't wait to be working on a master's thesis and to need all the words, because I already need all the words now. You feel like Becca's books are the most immersive for you because the use of slang. That makes so much sense to me. That makes so much sense. I agree with that, the use of the language. I also, one of the things about Becca's books that I really like that creates a huge, I think it just expands the world, is the time and the scope. And so you've already been introduced to the other maps of Tortall in the world, but how have those changed? And Becca's gives you a starting point. And so you see how the culture, the city, the whole entire realm has evolved. And it really, I think it just deepens it. You've taken that class in Minnesota. Oh, probably similar content. Loved it. It also had a class, but for disability. Oh, I would be so interested in that. That is the other piece of my everything, is that I work in disability accessible communications. That's my bread and butter, my heart and soul. I would love to know more about that. It'd be such a great class to take. The film and feminist class you took at community college, disability was at a 4-year. They are there. Yes, absolutely. There are some really good disability studies programs, disability media. I would love to know more. Love that Becca's books show everything so cyclical too. Yes. From the start. Just they're all so cyclical. We'll see. I love these. I'm so pleased everyone is here. I was not expecting so many people to jump on in the middle of the day. Uninvited. Your master's is in leadership and advocacy for females with disabilities in urban communities. What? Where is that from? That is like, that's a good intersection. I used to work at Women Enabled International. I built their communications department. And so if you're familiar with them, that was my life and soul for a while. That'd be, and I think these books fit in that intersection too. Y'all are fantastic. Should we do a little reading? I do have, it seems like my car will be fixed soon. Independent studies at Metropolitan State in Minnesota. That's amazing. I'm an independent studies queen myself. The admin is such a pain, but it's worth it in the end. I made my own undergraduate degree, and so I combined education, international studies, and anthropology all together, and made like a global education degree. And it was worth it. I absolutely loved it. It took me around the world. I'm so excited for grad school in London, of all places. That'll be fantastic, but it'll be a year from now. I still have time for it. Still have time. So if you're just joining us, hello, welcome. We're doing a quick just check-in live. I was thinking about doing a little read with battle magic, just to appease the TikTok gods, and let them know that I am still serious and I am trying to keep doing lives, even if they're telling me it needs to be every 5 days rather than every 7. So this is the excitement of me jumping for the TikTok overlords. But if it means I get to see you all more, that's the best part. I do love these lives so much. Nice, you're starting a 2nd degree this fall. Congratulations. And and go get that master's. Danger Metro has online. Oh, nice. TikTok does the silliest things. There's so many things now. They're limiting hashtags, the number of hashtags you can use. They're limiting all sorts of things. It seems like they just had a big update, and they try new things a lot. And so even things like the creator pilot program was introduced a little while ago, and I did a little bit with that, but I don't think I did enough with that. And so I'm in this weird in between. Ignore the air conditioning. Sorry, y'all. I'm just in this very weird in between with the size of my account. And so I have access to certain features, but not others. So it's just been I'm learning every day. I was not an avid TikTok user before this, and so I'm learning so much, and I appreciate everyone's patience with me. Some reading. FYI, you thought you were going to do some yes, we are distracting your agenda. I'd rather this distraction for the agenda. I don't necessarily think it's fun to join lives where people are just sitting there reading, because I can do that too. I can just sit and read. I'd rather talk to people when I'm on here, but I thought that having it being a reading would make me not feel as bad if I was just reading and no one joined, but people joined. So I'll definitely still read. My car will be fixed here soon, so I need to keep an eye out for that. Let's see. You wish you'd known about these amazing degree options where you were slogging through yours. Sometimes you just have to make it up. They did not have the degree I wanted, so I made it up. Same with the master's program. I was not able to find, I really wanted to do an in-person degree in a creative setting. And so I'm excited for it. There's so many options. Let's see. Battle Magic was your least favorite Tamora book, and it's still good, but the cats, oh no. I don't really remember Battle Magic. I started reading Battle Magic right when it came out, but I don't think I had read many of the other Circle of Magic ones. And so honestly, I thought this was a Tortall book. This read Tortall to me when it came out, particularly compared to all of the other books or the covers. This really felt Tortall to me. I didn't even look at the back because it was Tamora Pierce. Of course I'm going to get it. And so I read the first couple of chapters, realized that I had no idea what was going on. Nobody I knew was in it. And I think I put it down and did not pick it back up. So I'm really excited to read it this time around with the context. But the cats, one of the creators had to make a new account because they kept kicking her out of the creator fund. I'm not even close to the creator fund yet. For that, you have to have 10,000 followers. And I'm going to be so thrilled if we get 2,000 this week. And so the creator fund is not, I would love to eventually be there. But at this point in time, that pilot program for the shop is the closest I can get. And it's weird. It's just weird. It's all just weird. So I'm muddling through, trying to navigate my own morals, how much I want to do with it, and then of course what's out there, and for no good reason too. They kicked her out for no good reason too. I don't doubt that at all. TikTok has their own idea of what's okay, what's not. I think there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than we ever know. Let's see. Never say never. You went back to school at 31 and got your bachelor's and obviously your master. Thank you for sharing that, because that's one thing I am really insecure about, is going back and getting my degree. I ended up finishing my undergraduate later than most of my peers, and I'm very nervous about going back for my master's in another country, and I'm going to be at least 10 years older than most of the people in my class. And so I love hearing that there are other people. You read them, but Melting Stones and Battle Magic, you know, you didn't like them as much as the other ones. That's all right. They are dark. Okay, you need to reread. Well, reread. Come back next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but the next Wednesday. It's Envy's book. Ooh. They're super reasonable. Yeah. Love this book. Okay. So you love this book. You did finish. Now you wish you had known that there were options beyond the standards. Yeah. I think for a while, like, there really weren't many options. You have a coworker in her 50s and she just got her master's a couple of years ago. That's fantastic. I love school. Looking for colleges that are traditionally transfers. Metro is only for junior and senior levels. That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. There are tons of schools that cater to transfers. And they have a lot more options in what you can get the degree in. I will say, though, sometimes you get a degree and people are like, so what is that actually? And you have to be in a space where people understand it. It's more difficult for me to find jobs in smaller towns than it is for me to find jobs like in Washington, D.C. I have a lot easier time finding a job, or I used to. Not anymore. Not a great place if you work in international human rights. But there's always gonna be something, I hope. People are always like, and you're going to do what with your degree? Absolutely. All the time. I hear that all the time. And one of the fun things now I can say is, like, I hope to do things like this with my degree. I hope to keep hosting book clubs, and I hope to I think there's so much to learn from fiction. And there are different ways to package it, right? School at you and school don't mix well. Self-motivate. You don't self-motivate well in school environments. That makes sense. Schools really aren't built for self-motivation most of the time. Most of the time, schools are built for you to just follow directions. I'm really thankful that I ended up at a bunch of schools that valued self-directed education, and ended up really being able to take charge of my education. But if I didn't have schools that valued that, I don't think I would have done well. Your sister-in-law has a bachelor's that she can't use. Oh, no. There's so many now that are just becoming obsolete, whether it's through AI or all sorts of different reasons. And so we'll see. I'm so happy everybody is here. All right, y'all, let's do... I wasn't even planning on being on this long. I just really wanted to be like, hey, TikTok, I promise I want to do lives. I want to keep doing lives. I'll put out a calendar soon. Again, if you aren't following, follow along. Join the Discord. It's in the link in my bio. Your answer to when people ask you what you do with your degree is, I ran away to join the circus. Okay, Lark. All right. That's so fun. All right, I'm gonna just read a couple of pages, and then I'll probably have to hop off here so I can get my car fixed so I can go back to my books and get some more of that content. I appreciate everyone who's been so patient with me. I'm literally I'm scraping my drafts right now. I have so many things. I'm using pieces of videos that were about totally different topics, but those topics have now passed, and so I'm taking little bits, the floor throwaways of those, and putting them together to try to make a new video until I can get back to the beloved books again. I'm gonna try to point out some fan art. We're gonna get creative, is what I'm telling you. We're gonna get a little creative. Not everything I put out is gonna be around Tamora Pierce for a little bit until I can get back to the books again, start making some more fresher content. But I appreciate everyone sticking with me. Amanda, you're listening at work as you deliver Amazon packages. You love my content. Thank you. I'm so happy to be on this ride with you. I hope we're going somewhere fun, as I'm stuck in the heat. I am really excited. First of all, I know I just did a video about dedications, but the dedication for Battle Magic absolutely was almost on that list, just for the, like, to the veterans, family and not, friends and not, past, present, future. Because William Tesher, I said I was going to look this up, how to say it. But Sherman was right. And war is all hell. Ah! War is all hell. War is all hell. Absolutely. I'm already like, this is going to be darker. This is a slightly different map than what we have been seeing. And some of our... I don't know if I'm a huge fan. There are so many different fonts going on. I don't know if we need this many fonts. But I do like how clear the marks are. I love a legend. If anyone brings me a map without a legend and it's not like totally completely labeled, not a good map. Not a good map. But this is a solid map. Lots of beautiful mountains everywhere. The Bay of Storms. I feel like I already know where the big places that we're going to go, or at least that are going to be talked about in here. One thing though is I don't know where it is in relation to... Oh, we have another page. Look at this. Love this. Give me an extra map. Yes, 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 yes. We gotta zoom in. Ice Lion Pass. This Bay of Storms I'm really interested in. Snow Serpent River. This all sounds very cold. We're gonna do another cold one? I don't know about any of this. Yes, I do like this. I don't think I would have done that font, but... And this one does not have a legend. They're just, I'm assuming they're gonna make you just use this one. I did not get a Tortall map blanket. I did not end up getting any of the dual wields or any of that at the time. I was just not in a financial situation where I could do that. And I watched with jealousy at everyone's like Illumi crates and the like badger claw necklace and little swords and the candles. So jealous. So jealous of everybody. Ditto, you wanted a kit and a badger claw? Me too. Me too. I would have just cleared out that whole collection. But it was not in the stars at the time. That's all right. You desperately want the maps for your wall. Me too. I do too. I've seen somebody has the Tortall map tattooed on their back. Love it. Love it. Love it. Do we have a good... Is this Briar's book? We don't keep them for... Yes. More Briar. Maybe someday the copyright will be released again. I hope so. I really hope so. I know that there's a lot of copyright issues going on in the Sarah Maas universe right now. And I think that there are a lot of lessons that can be taken from that. And one of the main ones that I've seen is the idea around smaller creators and having the copyright and license to do it for smaller creators. I think that would be a great thing for Tamora Pierce because I think there are so many smaller creators who really do love her work. And it would just be, I think it would be more realistic than like a huge studio doing it, is to just have more of the smaller creators. Like those I think those candles were originally from a smaller creator. So I would love to see more. What kind of merch would you want to see? Mostly Briar, yeah. Good. I like Briar. Really like Briar. I think, yes. 16 now, so we're jumping 2 years. This is gonna be a lot. You wanna come up here? Okay. I'm dog sitting, so that's my friends. Fabulous. Pins, shirts. I agree. Some shirts would be really cool. I would love like a shield or a sword. I know they did like little lightnings. That would be awesome. But I think even like the ones that you put in your hair. I want one of the fans that Kel has. Yes, please. Blankets. So into. I think, yes. I think a line of clothes would be really cool, but doing it like tunics, having more of a gender neutral or a gender inclusive line, and so having them be like medieval-esque inspired non-binary clothing, I think would be really cool. You've seen people talk about how to make the fans. It's so cool. Yes, wall prints, that's another great idea. I would love a line of clothes inspired by Fayette. Like, let's just do a bunch of evening wear inspired by Fayette. And the reviews can be things like, does well in the mud. I think that would be way too much fun. Wall prints. What else? I think, oh, what about like a line of plants for Briar and Rosethorn? Something that pays homage to all of the different covers of the different books. I think that's a really great idea too. I don't know how to do that. Maybe like a flip book, or I would love to have, I know there was a book made of the Tamora Pierce fan art, but doing a book like that too would be really great. Fabulous. I'm so pleased everybody joined. I am gonna have to hop off here soon, get this car fixed. This was mostly, I'm here to appease the TikTok gods so they don't take away my live, so we can keep doing book clubs. But just in case they do, because I don't know what TikTok is going to do, please make sure you follow along on the page, or you're joined in the Discord. That way, like if TikTok takes the lives away, I think I'll just try to like pop over to Discord, or try to do, I don't know, YouTube or something. And so book club will not stop, even if TikTok tries. But I know I said I was gonna come on here and read, but I kind of feel like that's a little, if I just sit here in silence reading, that's no fun for anyone. Maybe one of these days I'll do like a read out loud. I love reading out loud. But maybe not with this book, because I don't know how to pronounce almost anything in it. So I'm going to do a little bit of investigation before the live. Listen to the audio. Do some of that. Because this seems like it'll be a good one. But yes, the read with me. Okay, so the read with me portion of this was not a success. But the hanging out with people talking about Tamora Pierce was a wild success. So, all right, y'all. I'm gonna go get my car fixed, and then I'm going to start working on more Tamora Pierce. I know I'm gonna work on that calendar. I promise you all. I promise. But tomorrow, join tomorrow. We're doing book club. As usual, well, different format, but it's at the same time, same place, and it's going to be about identity. Sick fall. It's going to be about identity, so I would love for you all to come with ideas about how Tamora Pierce shaped your identity, how Tamora Pierce shapes identity within her own stories, and I think that'll be a really good place for us to start on these discussions. Yes, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, and then 5 Mountain, or no, well, not Mountain, West Coast. I'm getting there. So I am so excited everyone joined. I had a lot of fun. I was nervous coming on, but I had a great time. Pacific, thank you. I know, my brain, it's working. It does. It works in there. Thank you all so much for joining. I hope you all have a great day today. I'll post some more later. And I hope to see you tomorrow. We'll have a great book club then. Talk soon, all.